NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group, and I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mountain. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch of the highway we haven't been able to cover. So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
The Leafs and the New Jersey Devils collide for the first time in this regular season. Starting goaltenders Anthony Stolarz for the Maple Leafs, who is 2-2-1, 2.79. And Jake Allen taking over for Jacob Markstrom, who has been hurt, is 2-0-0 this year with a 1.88 goals against average. And Anthony Stolarz was a little vocal about his teammates.
I loved it. I love it. Now, part of it is I remember Jim Bouton in the book Ball 4 saying, to be critical, you got to be going well. And Anthony Stolarz has been going well enough to do what he did.
So what you're saying is that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. could pretty much say whatever the hell he wants?
And George Springer, you might throw him into that mix.
So congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays. We're underway as the puck is dropped. And it is shot down into the Toronto zone and around the boards. It'll come to the near wing. Grabbed off on the boards and sent back to the net by Dakota Joshua. Propelled along for Benoit, and he banks it out at center, and it is chipped to an open wing, but grabbed off there quickly by the Devils and played out. It's a delayed offside, and the Leafs will bank it out at center, and trying to chip it into the zone ends up going into the bench. How about all of the Leafs today wearing Blue Jay paraphernalia? And of course, Austin Matthews returning the favor, wearing a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Talk to the game tonight.
I watching the game with my son last night, and I see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming into Game 7 with an Austin Matthews jersey, and I thought,
did you say?
Oh no, in the sense that if the Jays don't win, this is going viral for months. So great to see them share that camaraderie, but also Blue Jays coming through in a Game 7.
Played by Nyes or by Michelli around in front of the net, and it came off Michelli's stick. He gets it back to the net for Nylander. Nylander circles in a centering pass in the slot. Will come back to the blue line to Riley at the far point. Wrist shot coming, but it's going to be caught by Allen. Held for a face-up. Little information, okay? Austin Matthews' nickname is Pappy. His mother has given that to him. She's Mexican, obviously. But the reason he wears number 34 is because of Big Pappy, the Boston Red Sox hero David Ortiz, who obviously is not a godfather to Guerrero Jr., but a very close friend. Dennis Martinez is actually the godfather of, but all of them from the Dominican. And so that is the connection between Matthews and Big Pappy.
Goes through Boston.
Little Pappy, yeah, I love it.
And David Ortiz, they're fantastic, aren't they? Jeter, A-Rod.
Did they get Guerrero Jr. going after the Yankee series? Centering pass comes in front of the net, and it's knocked into the corner by Domi, who's on a line here in the midst of a change as it comes to center ice. Domi trying to play it into the zone, and Tavares to the bench. Matthews with Domi on the wing along with Nyes. That's the change, as Cowan is a healthy scratch here this evening. Leafs back in their own zone. Matthews trying to bunt it out at center, but it was knocked away. Kept alive now by a centering pass from Hughes into the slot. A shot that went off the shoulder of Stolarz. Leafs don't get the puck out, and it's cleared back into the corner. Pratt trying to free it up. Does, and it's on to the stick now of Nyes. He's going to skate to center and roll it into the offensive zone, but he's surrounded there, and Palat will get it out at center. Just nicely underway, 2.5 minutes in, no score. Puck along the far boards. Glendening will get it out at center. Going back after it was Riley, but the Leafs unable to come up with the possession. Scrummed along the boards. Carlo plays it ahead, and the Leafs are going to launch it high and over the line. Robertson, he had a bouncing puck to behave, and it comes into the slot, but no one can get a shot away. That puck had behaved for him. He had a man alone in front of the net in Yarncrook, who is back into the lineup here this evening. Devils with it back in the Toronto zone, but it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson banking it out at center ice. Devils come in with a record of 4-1-0. They lost their opening game, but have won 4 straight. Leafs with it in the offensive zone. Maccelli had it knocked off his stick, and Cody Glass skates down the left wing boards with it to get it into the Toronto zone. Glass playing it around back of the net. The Leafs come away with it and get it up on the wing, and Nylander steers it off on the right wing side. Flipped in by Maccelli. It'll go down into the corner, but comes back to the point. Tanev's wrist shot was blocked, and the Devils get it out at center ice. Leafs in their own zone. Long stretch here without a whistle. Tanev with a pass that deflects in over the line off the stick of Dakota Joshua. He can't reach it in time. Trying to keep it alive on the near side was Roy. It comes back to the blue line. Joshua trying to get it in along the boards for McMahon, but it was taken away by the Devils. They have it under control in their own zone with a lead pass deflected in by Meyer, but it's going to be an icing call against Sheldon Keefe's New Jersey Devils.
Sheldon Keefe, they were in town early and took in the Toronto Marley game Sunday afternoon. Of course, Sheldon Keefe won a Calder Cup with the Marlies before eventually making his way here to Toronto and eventually behind the bench in New Jersey.
Face-off is in the Toronto zone. Or excuse me, in the Devils zone. And Mercer has it deflect out at center ice. Nyes unable to connect. So Nyes is moved to the right wing side. Domi's playing left wing. Matthews at center ice. So not only is there personnel changes, both of them are now rolling puck towards the goal, but cleared out and down the ice. And the Leafs will have to go back in their own end to recover. I think that left and right will kind of change from shift to shift and from circumstance to circumstance, but both are left-handed shots, Domi and Nyes. Here the Devils now in on the right side. Hughes with a shot, rang it off the crossbar. The puck comes out at center ice. McMahon bringing it in on the left wing. A long shot steered wide by Allen. Is that going to get another look? Did you think that was...
It went off a stick, and then I believe, Joe, it was off the crossbar over the left shoulder of Stolarz and out.
Kept alive by the Leafs at the blue line, but
sometimes if it's wobbling, right, off a stick, it's got that funny
you wonder whether it was posted inside the net, but the horn hasn't gone, and they would have looked at that by now. Brought to center and into the zone, but not deep enough for Maccelli. Now it's fired in by the Leafs. Devils play it between the defense and down the ice. Icing, and an opportunity to inform you that Garlitz and Hughes are the linesmen. Skilleter and Halkitis are the referees this evening.
At least not exactly off to a roaring start. Shots on goal 2-1 for New Jersey, and that does not include the post that was hit.
Fan has a sign. The Mariners lose.
Isn't it awfully amazing?
Play-by-play announcer for the Yankees getting a lot of attention these days.
I think that's unfair going after a play-by-play guy.
I thank you, Mr. Ralph.
Yes.
That's very nice of you. Shot from the point. Scramble in front. Scores! John Tavares deflecting that in front of the net, but Michelli was right on the doorstep. But the Leaf assistant captain is going to get the goal. And for Tavares, it is number 4 on the season. The Leafs open the scoring.
Early on in the season, the Leafs were dead last in the NHL in rebound chances. John Tavares has banged in 2 rebounds in 2 games. Is Oliver Ekman-Larsson, just barely. Or it was before that, Morgan Riley barely kept it in, but wrist shot from the point gets through to the front of the net and pops up off Jake Allen's pads. On the Ekman-Larsson shot, and John Tavares somehow banks it on the backhand about a foot off the ice past Allen to give the Leafs the first goal of this game.
So Tavares getting closer to the 500 points.
As a Leaf?
As a Leaf. Played around the boards to the far side. Chipped along the boards end by the Maple Leafs. Yarncrook, back of the net it goes. Robertson fighting along with Lorenz for the loose puck, but it is pushed aside. And Connor Brown, the former Leaf, gets it out at center and flips it down into the Toronto end.
Connor Brown's got a pretty good start in New Jersey. 3 goals already.
Was it a couple of years ago he didn't score until like April?
Yeah, 2 years ago in Edmonton. Yeah.
Lead pass for Robertson out of his reach.
He also had, speaking of Edmonton, one of his goals came a couple of nights ago at home for the Devils against the Edmonton Oilers, a shorthanded goal in the 3rd period, which was a big one for Connor Brown. Ended up with 13 goals last year and 30 points. Twice hit the 20-goal mark in his career, once early with the Leafs and then had a 21-goal season with Ottawa.
That is John Tavares' 501st point as a Leaf.
The Leaf just 3 other in NHL history, 500 with 2 different franchises, 500 points.
Shot around back of the net. Centering pass is intercepted by the Maple Leafs. And Yarncrook will dump it down into Devil territory and get a change of players going. Pass deflects down into the Leaf zone, and out of the net comes Stolarz to get it into the corner. And the Leafs get a pass out at center ice, and Nyes with skating room to his liking in over the line. Tried to send it to the front of the net, and it hit a skate, and Karam's all the way back into the Leaf end. Domi over on the right wing this time. Pass gets to him. His pass gets through, and now Matthews in with a shot. That was deflected off a body and went wide. Nyes can't get to it. Devils get it to the Leaf blue line, and the Leafs send it right back out. Whoa. Almost too many men on the ice as a backhand shot taken there by Hughes. And I think that it was too many men. He accepted the pass, and there were still skates on the ice by the player that was being exchanged. Did you not agree?
Oh, yeah. Yep, that door was still open, and I don't think the skates were off the ice yet. And that's usually when you get nailed for too many men on the ice.
Icing call coming here against Toronto. It'll be brought back.
By the way, I think the 3 others that have had 500 points with 2 different franchises, Mark Messier, New York and Edmonton, Wayne Gretzky, Edmonton and Los Angeles, and Ronnie Francis is actually the general manager, is now the president of the Seattle Kraken. 500 with Pittsburgh and the Hartford Whalers, Carolina Hurricanes.
Draw one by the shot, hits the side of the goal. As the Devils got it away, the puck comes back to the point. Bratt to the left wing side, back into the slot. Good blocker save made there. Pad save then made by Stolarz to keep it out on the near side. Devils pressing. Back to the blue line it comes. Pesce trying to get a shot away. It goes into the corner. Hughes centers. Another big pad save made by Stolarz. Puck around the boards. Back to the point it comes. Pesce trying to get it in on the left wing. Pass into the goal crease area. Goes into the near corner. Leafs unable to come away with it, but the first line hemmed in the Toronto zone. Benoit on the wing, and Domi is going to chip it the rest of the way, but it's going to be an icing call here against the Maple Leafs.
Domi might have been better off just leaving it. Puck was on its way out of the zone. Instead, propels it further down, and now you got an extended shift for the Matthews line. But Anthony Stolarz, I mean, he might have to do it again after this game, Joe. He just came up with 2 more outstanding stops on goal mouth passes. Boy, he took one away from Paul Cotter, who had him dead to rights in the slot, about 4 feet from the top of the crease.
Played into neutral ice. Devils flip it back in. Leafs regrouping in their own zone. Bank it out in center, but not onto the stick of Michelli as the Devils shoot it right back in again. Mercer into the forecheck. Kept in at the point with a long shot that caroms into the near corner. Leafs are able to get it back out into neutral ice, but haven't gotten possession to get it into the offensive end. Now Nylander gives it off to the defense. Played back behind on a blind pass by Benoit that is taken back. Then Benoit knocks it into the corner for Brandon Carlo. Carlo getting it freed up, and Nylander starts up ice with a flip down into the zone that unable to reach is Michelli. Nylander going back. Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Nylander assisting on the goal. By John Tavares. Nylander now with 12 points, and a penalty is coming here. Slashing. Stick got knocked right out of the hands of the Maple Leafs, Dakota Joshua.
Dawson Mercer's the guilty party.
Slashing penalty will send the Leafs to the power play when we return. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's time to get hyped for the NBA season on Sirius XM. From the Knicks looking to take control of the East.
The clutch player of the year will not be denied. Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front.
To Cooper Flagg's debut in Dallas.
Welcome to the league, Cooper Flagg.
And the Thunder defending its title.
Behind the board, knocks down an 8-foot jumper. SGA has come to play tonight, baby.
You'll hear every game on your radio and the hometown announcers on the Sirius XM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game, and when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have a take and don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home, and it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Everywhere you want it.
Power play brought to you by Subaru. This fall, Uncommon comes standard. Want to say hello to a lot of our listeners that are overseas, including Ben Roberts, Uncle Wilbur's grandson. Bill Waters' grandson, Ben, is listening over in London, England, where he lives with his mom and dad.
Yeah, and Simon Dingley's been listening to us on his trip in northern Japan.
Well, you have people all over. Here's a wraparound attempt on the power play, and it was knocked away as Nyes took it out from behind the net. Riley walks the line. Plays it off on the right wing side for Matthews. Matthews to Nylander on the near half boards. Back to Matthews, high slot. Matthews holds, looks for Nylander, gives it to him. Nylander closes, doesn't shoot it. When he did, it hit a leg. It's around the boards now, and the Leafs aren't going to be able to keep it in as it slides to center ice. Tavares has to get back for it. Gives it ahead to Riley. Riley dropping now for Matthews. Matthews through center. Drops for Nylander. On the wing for Nyes on the left wing side. Ryan into a traffic jam and fed it around to the far corner, and Tavares gets there and swings it back around to the near boards. Nylander holds at the near half boards. Down below it goes for Nyes in front of the net looking for Matthews, but the puck was deflected, and now two Devils on a 2-on-1 break in over the line, and a big save made by Stolarz. He robs Nico Hischier.
Another odd man rush the Leafs give up while on the power play. If Hischier, Joe, I think if he goes more towards the net,
he
finds it,
right
but he kind of drifted further away and gave Stolarz a little more time to get over.
Maccelli with a pass off a skate. Here we go again. Here are the Devils in on the right side. Trying to get in was Hughes, but he had it knocked away, and now the Leafs try to push it to center, and a good hit by Dougie Hamilton to knock Domi down. What a save that was, though.
Another, that's two spectacular left pad saves by Stolarz in this game.
10 seconds left in the penalty. Oliver Ekman-Larsson across the line. Domi down below the goal line. Got it in front. No one could get a stick on it. Penalty expires. Long shot is going to be smothered by Jake Allen.
Well, New Jersey Devils, by the way, maybe no surprise that they get an opportunity as we get some pushing and shoving now in front of the Devils' net. But they've killed off now 20 of 21 times short this year and have two shorthanded goals. So they're +1 on the penalty kill, just 5+ games into the regular season.
Goal by John Tavares has the Leafs out in front 1-0. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
People sometimes ask, sure, you can consolidate people's debts using telekinesis, but what else can you do? As if changing lives isn't enough. Well, I can also use my power to make it rain hot dogs. It's still not as cool as consolidating debts into one easy payment, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Bet99 is built in Canada by Canadians for Ontario players. In fact, Bet99 is so Canadian, it's an official partner of the NHL. Bet99 has more than 2,500 casino games, and you can stream football, soccer, and tennis on Bet99 while you bet. Get in the game with secure deposits and withdrawals. Just add a big screen, a comfy couch, and you're all set. Download the Bet99 app. It's Canadian, eh? 18 plus. Play responsibly. Available to persons in Ontario only. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or the gambling of someone close to you, please go to connectsontario.ca.
Back here at Scotiabank Arena, we lost a real matriarch of Leaf Nation today. Ann Conacher, the wife of Peter Conacher, passed away peacefully, but 93 years young and 1 year to the day of the passing of her husband, Peter. And she was just an absolute delight and a wonderful, wonderful lady that was so involved with all of the older alumni members and everything. And
it was always at golf tournaments that Pete would be at.
Oh, yeah. Just a wonderful lady. And our thoughts are with the Conacher family. A name that is, royalty.
Yes.
As far as athletics in Canada is concerned. Here's McMahon getting it around back of the net and into the far corner. Leafs after it there. It comes back along the boards for McMahon, back into the corner. Good play made there by the Leafs to Dakota Joshua, but he couldn't get it in front. Now McMahon has it on one hand, trying to work it in front, and Joshua trying to help him out, had it knocked off a stick, and it comes to center ice. Jake McCabe reverses the puck along the boards. Joshua couldn't help him out. That causes a scrum in the near corner. Leafs are able to get it free, and it is Tanev carrying it to center and dumping it into the zone with 6:45 to go in the first period. 1-0 Toronto. Johnny Tavares picking up where he has left off every season since coming to this hometown Maple Leaf team. Domi carries down in the offensive zone, got it back to the point. Riley's long wrister just went wide of the far post. Matthews couldn't come up with it. Cleared out in center ice now. Mercer getting it down to the Leaf zone, but no further. Leafs with it in neutral ice. Domi sliding it in for Matthews. Matthews works around back of the net, shields the puck nicely, stops it up. Back of the net for Domi. Domi looking for Matthews. Back into the far corner to the point it comes. Benoit didn't get much on the backhand. Cut off on the cycle then by the Devils, who get it across the line, and a wrist shot taken there by Paul Cotter. Swallowed up by Anthony Stolarz, who has faced 9 New Jersey shots.
And just 5 for Jake Allen. By the way, this might be the team you want Austin Matthews to face. 21 career games against the New Jersey Devils, 21 career goals, including a couple of hat tricks. So you would hope maybe Matthews can bang in a multi-goal game tonight.
Not real good at math. That's almost like a goal a game.
Yeah. Well, needs one more tonight to maintain that.
Okay. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The biggest soccer clubs in the world clash in the UEFA Champions League. And the drama is on Sirius XM FC.
Kylian Mbappe! There's the moment of magic!
The Stars will be out in the Spanish capital as Real Madrid battle Juventus.
Weston McKennie fires Juve in front!
Coverage kicks off tomorrow at 3 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app. Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. 10-10-50.
Leafs control the face-off in their own zone. Bank it up ahead, but it's cut off by the Devils. Down into the near corner and fed back in the net. Jake McCabe intercepts, got it ahead, and Yarncrook turns now and banks it out at center ice. Got it ahead for Tavares. Tavares for Tanev. Tanev laying it around back of the net. Got past Yarncrook, and the Devils are going to launch it out into neutral ice. Hischier getting it ahead. Hughes crossed the line, had it knocked away. Played in around back of the net, but Stolarz is there to scoop it ahead. Nylander couldn't get it out for him, and Yarncrook stick handling in the slot area gives the puck away. Brought back along the boards and on the line and kept in now by New Jersey. Cut around to the far corner. Another giveaway there, and the Leafs are going to get it out into neutral ice. Luke Hughes getting it ahead for Timo Meier. They're heading to the bench. Pesce back in his own zone. Jersey stretching things out here, trailing 1-0. Long shooting goes down and is going to be scooped back at the net then by goaltender Stollers, and the Leafs get it out at center. Fired around the boards by Brendan Dillon. Chipped out at center ice, but too far for New Jersey, and the Leafs have it under control at their own blue line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson dumped it out. Lorenz has his man tied up against the boards, Paul Cotter. And the Leafs get it freed up, and now to the left wing side. It's brought by Benoit to center, and he'll shoot it down. Whoa, that took a funny hop off the boards and almost caromed in front of the net off the back ankle of Jake Allen. Here the Devils working it over the line, but it's going to be called offside. Play whistled dead. You know, I was just thinking, watching Springer's homer yesterday. I have watched the 2 World Series ending home runs in my lifetime. I ran home. My mother's from Pennsylvania. Got in the door just as Bill Mazeroski was striding to the plate. And then we were in Tampa after the Leafs had won 9 in a row to set a club record.
93.
Puck in front of the Leaf goal. Down is Stolarz. The puck goes wide of the net. We walked into a hotel lobby bar that was empty just as Joe Carter was striding to the plate. The rest of that story, Bill Waters, who we talked about his grandson, commented, "This guy hasn't had a meaningful RBI in the entire season." Boom! Off it went. And Mike Murphy says, "Wilbur, I hope you know hockey players better than you know baseball players." We got a scrum going on in front of the New Jersey bench now with Domi tangled up with one of the Devil players.
Yeah, eventually it was 2-on-2 everywhere else on the ice, and the Devils were coming down.
Cody Glass, I think it was, Jimmy.
Yeah, there was a 6-man scrum in front of the New Jersey bench. One of the things I had fun with, and you know I've done this, is we're going to get the goals here.
Toronto 11, minor penalty roughing. New Jersey 12, minor penalty roughing.
All right, there we go, where the whole bits were, what if there was video review in the 70s? So I memorized the call of Dan Kelly's call of Bobby Orr's goal in 1970, the flying through the air goal. And also memorized the Joe Carter home run, the call by Tom Cheek. And changed both of them, that Derek Sanderson was actually offside on the Bobby Orr goal. And there was fan interference on the Joe Carter home run.
No!
So everybody went back to second and third, and then Alfredo Griffin had a fielder's choice to win it.
Which wasn't nearly as much fun.
But I did that with Joe Carter there, so we had some fun with it. But you do wonder, do you not think of that? How many, if there was video review, how many great moments of sports would have been different?
Was Henderson offside in Russia?
Yes.
Oh, boy. The old adage, he scores. Not so fast. Yeah. Note. Or
even, as far back before television, where there was no video.
So I guess it would be a guy drawing really fast.
Yes.
Coincident minor penalties. 4-on-4 for a bit. Here the Devils getting deep into the Leaf zone. Meyer gets it back towards the blue line, stops, and then carries it out at center ice. Leafs will take that. Played to an open corner, and Tavares is going to get there first. Tavares, nifty little play off the backboard, gets it back into the slot, and just missed Morgan Riley and Jake McCabe. Now McCabe works it across into the slot. Tavares doesn't shoot it. Now he looks, and now he does. And it is swallowed up by Allen. And there'll be a face-off in the New Jersey end. Not sure what the Devil defender was thinking about.
Yeah, throwing it back into his own end. And unless he thought maybe Allen was going to come out and play it.
Well, if he did, Allen would have had to have been in the corner of the rink.
Cut it off, in the hash marks. But that would have been dangerous.
Yes. That's, I think, Toe Blake's line to Rick Walmsley.
Yeah, there was nobody there.
No. When Wammer came out to play the puck, like most goalies do now, Mr. Blake took him aside and said, "Mr. Walmsley, When you're out playing defense, who's playing goal? Brought to the Leafs, or to the offensive line by the Leafs. Drop back for Matthews, top of the circle, fakes the shot, works around back of the net. Matthews still with it, flipping it into the slot area, bounces to the net and is scooped aside by Allen. Minute 39 to go in a fairly quickly played first period, led 1-0 by Toronto. Hughes drops the puck off, working hard as Bratt to go around back of the Leaf goal. Jesper Bratt works it back to the blue line, gets it on his forehand, gives it back to Hughes. Hughes closes and shot the puck 10 feet wide. Good hit by Morgan Riley. Played back of the net. Played in front of the goal as Stolars was back. Getting a little late to the puck behind the net.
Young Mr. Wamsley.
Guess I should have just held on to that story for another 30 seconds. Here's Roy dropping it back into the Leaf zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson shoots it down into the zone. Joshua could get, whoa! And then Allen almost shot it into his own goal. It comes back into the slot. The Leafs with a shot high over top of the goal. Whoa, we've had a couple of brain cramps from both goaltenders here. Leafs keep the puck in, but it'll be pushed out at center ice now by New Jersey. Sent in over the line by Gritsik. He can't penetrate. The Leafs get it off a stick down into the offensive zone. 16 seconds left in the period. Brought to center ice by Glendening. Glendening gets it in back of the Toronto net. Leafs pinning it there. And they're going to be able to hold the fort as the horn goes to end the period.
You would think, what great scoring chances, maybe 6-2 in favor of New Jersey. Other than the Tavares goal, you'd kind of be hard-pressed to find Jake Allen having to make a difficult stop. There was the one opportunity late after the turnover by Allen that the Leafs fired the puck over top of the net. But as far as great scoring chances, easily the New Jersey Devils had the advantage over Toronto. 10-7 were the shots after the first.
What's going on, Leafs fans? My name is What's going on, Leafs fans? My name is Connor. I promise, before everyone starts yelling at me in the live chat to tell me to get back to the intermission, I just wanted to take this intermission break and let you guys know about about some of the changes that will be going on here on the Connor Knows Columbus Sports channel. So first and foremost, the obvious thing, because it's already out on the channel, Columbus crew games. So what I'm doing with those is I got game 1 and game 2 of the playoffs, MLS first round for Columbus versus Cincinnati. So basically what I am doing with those games is I'm doing a little experiment with the crew and with live watch parties or live watch-alongs, whatever you want to call them. If those do well in terms of numbers, then next season in February 2026, I'm going to fully integrate the Columbus crew from the soccer channel over to this channel, because with every passing stream, this channel grows more and more, which I appreciate. I really enjoy the love that all the Leafs fans are showing for the channel, and although that really hasn't been recuperated or rippled through other Columbus sports like the Blue Jackets, Ohio State, stuff like that, but what I really want to do with this channel is not really bring in existing Columbus sports fans, but to create new Columbus sports fans. You know what I mean? So that's really the plan with that. As for the Columbus Fury, I'm either going to do live watch parties for volleyball games, or I'm just going to do Gamecast and audio like I do for football and hockey. But going into the UFL season, if the Aviators games don't overlap with the Crew games, I'm going to be doing live watch parties, play-by-play, shit like that for the Columbus Aviators as well with the Crew and whatnot. I'm really going to start experimenting with the Ohio State play-by-play. Probably Big Ten championship if they make it. The Ohio State Gamecast and chats have been kind of like this in terms of views. Excuse me. But maybe I'll rack in the viewers when doing play-by-play. Blue Jackets, I don't know when I'm going to get back to the Blue Jackets, because it's real hard to have one system and one computer that can run OBS. My laptop is old as shit. It can't run it. It's super slow. But I don't know what I'm going to do with the Blue Jackets, because there's a lot of overlap between the Leafs and the Blue Jackets. And if I chose the Blue Jackets over the Leafs, then I would get yelled at. There's that. But with all that being said, I just wanted to let you all know what's going on with the channel, the experimentation that's going on with the Columbus Crew games and their watch parties. And if those watch parties do well, then we're going to do more watch parties for the Leafs. Probably not going to be any watch parties for the Leafs. It's just going to be the radio audio with the Gamecast as long as I can do it. Because every single Leafs game, there's some sort of copyright. But with that being said, I'll get you guys back to the hockey. Thank you for listening to my nearly 5-minute long rant and channel update. Thank you for all the support. We're at 201 subscribers. Can we please make it to 300? Hoping to hit 500 by January. So again, guys, my name is Connor. I'm going to get you back to the hockey. Have a good night, everyone.
More urgency for these final 40 minutes.
Just looking at the giveaways, the Devils are credited with 9. Extremely high for them.
Yes and no. Like I said, they're a team that's pretty high flying. And I'm just taking a look. Maybe some of the culprits are, maybe a Palat who only had 3 shifts that period. They have 2 or 3 forwards under 3-4 minutes for that period in ice time as well too. So again, this is the team that, again, they are high flying. They try to create off the rush. They capitalize on their turnovers, but they're prone to sort of mistakes in the neutral zone and in the D zone. You saw Jake Allen sort of throw a couple pucks away as well too. Wow. So again, they sort of drift through shifts and make some glaring errors, and hopefully Toronto can capitalize on those mistakes.
The goal comes maybe, I want to say, a half minute after it looked like the Devils had scored.
2-on-1, shorthanded, and not many notes on that period, but not dangerous, and that sort of was the sums up the power play there. For me, I think they're trying to find too many seams. They're trying to, find the perfect pass, and you got to have that shooting mentality. But if you're not confident in your puck retrievals, that's sort of when you tend to have that perfect play, that alley-oop or that one-time or two. So turn the puck over, they go on a 2-on-1, but Stolarz has been dialed in. He's been dialed in most of the season. Regardless of what his save percentage sees, he's been probably one of the most consistent players for this Maple Leafs thing, and he buried them out of another jam there tonight.
So let's talk about the rotation, because the very first thing you said to me was it took 3 shifts for the Matthews line to get out, because it took 3 shifts for the top line of the Devils to get out, which would kind of tell you that the Devils were controlling that part of the game. But when you look at the game sheet after the first period, Palatz, who's on the top line, played 2:24. And where is Bratt? Brad's ice time is 4:27. That's not much for 2 premier players.
Yeah, and again, if you're worried about line matching versus the New Jersey Devils, I think you have some bigger problems at hand too. And again, they are tremendously talented, but again, they're prone to sort of turning pucks over, making big mistakes. It's a young team, guys that are known to get their quote-unquote cookies, for lack of better words, and they don't necessarily play the fundamentals. And I know Sheldon Keefe, he's been quoted as saying he needs that team to play a little bit of a 200-foot game, so I think Toronto needs to capitalize that. And I think, for Sheldon Keefe, he's probably trying to do it through discipline. And, that was something that I noticed. Was it a matchup thing that they came out the third shift of the game, or was it a discipline, or, hey, you know what, we need a better start, we want to see some physicality, and maybe that's why we're going to start the Joshua line.
In terms of the Leafs, what would be, outside of the goal, the most positive thing you saw in that period?
Defense. And again, I was a guy that defense was probably at the bottom of the totem pole with what I had to bring to the table every night, but I have an appreciation for that. So when in doubt, if you're struggling, the last thing you want to be struggling in is the defensive side of the game. They've been doing a good job of that. They had a pretty decent F3. Deere getting involved. You saw OEL get another assist. Riley's skating really well again. So they weren't necessarily plugged in their zone for extended period of times. I think it starts with the D side of the puck.
What was your take on Steven Lorentz? I mean, he only played 4 shifts at center in the 4th line.
Didn't notice him, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But again, I'm noticing him, Joshua, and Waugh. I'm noticing their length. I'm noticing their heaviness. I'm noticing their advancing pucks, getting in on the forecheck. Net positive shifts. They're not necessarily turning it over. I saw there was a stretch pass to Joshua near the end there. He didn't see it, but he found a way to get a stick on it, as opposed to it goes right by him and there's a face-off in your zone. So, again, the fundamentals are there. I think the offense is going to come, but they're sort of wearing down the opposition as they get a little bit more comfortable in chemistry. I can see them now sort of getting in the plus column and in the goal column as well.
What's your take on Michelli? I mean, as I said to you when we're watching him play, does a lot of things right.
He does. My concern is on the size, right? He becomes a little bit perimeter, and he comes in, has great puck possession. He'll turn up, try to make a play, and someone will just come and knock him over. So I like to see him a little bit stronger on his stick. But again, I think for him it's just finding a fit. Sometimes when you're playing with a Tavares or Nylander, you want to come in and be fancy-dancy all over the ice and find seams and sauce passes. I think for him, he's just got to simplify it. Tremendously talented. He can make those plays, but I'll tell you, they call it the Toronto factor for a reason. It takes a lot to come in and find success right away, but again, it's tough to evaluate after 6 games. It'll give him a little bit more of a longer runway there, Tats.
And they covered Stolarz well. I mean, there wasn't any kind of fracas going on there.
Yeah,
right?
there was
There's a little
they
gap
did a pretty
there.
good perimeter in protecting him, but I think it's just more so, again, you don't. Goalies are weird. We all know that. You want to protect them, and they're going to be sometimes getting out of character and stuff like that. So you don't really take that to heart. But I want to see that wall built in front of them. I want to see that response. Tonight I was expecting to see 10, 12 hits in the first period. I want to see that glass rattling, showing, hey, last game was a one-off. We're here to win. We're here to at least put on a show, but we're here to play Toronto Maple Leaf hockey.
Stu, thanks very much. It's 1-0 for the Leafs over the Devils after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey, live from Scotiabank Arena, TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
With a Subaru, a vehicle that's built to last comes standard. Heated front seats? Standard. High ground clearance? Standard. EyeSight Driver Assist to help spot the scooter delivery guy texting, merging, and eating all at once? Standard. Parallel parking perfectly while someone watches? Uncommon. But in a Subaru? Standard-ish. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models and get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation, Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
At Conestoga Farms, our eggs are more than just eggs. They're a promise from local farmers to you.
Local is near and dear to my heart.
Local means fresh.
For our golden yolk eggs, we feed our hens a natural diet, including marigolds, a natural source of lutein, so the yolks are rich, golden, and full of nutrients.
There's a great sense of pride in being able to feed our own family a product that we've raised.
Feed your family like we feed ours with Conestoga Farms golden yolk eggs, because local matters.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
The Prestons are a hockey family. Growing kids need food, and food needs a proper kitchen. I was sent by Alpine Credits to help with a home renovation loan. I introduced these young athletes to my superhero strength protein diet. Just consult your doctor before eating 300 eggs a day. Plenty of room in that new kitchen, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Popcorn chicken or chicken chunks. Why choose when you can enjoy both in one bundle? Introducing 2-for-1 Pizza's new chicken bundle box. Crispy popcorn chicken, juicy chicken chunks, golden potato wedges, and savory garlic bread, all bundled together for just $19.99. Perfect for game night, movie night, or anytime. Order yours today. Call 241-0241 or visit 241pizza.com.
Face Off Inside the NHL returns, taking you deeper behind the scenes than ever before. See it all from the star-studded Four Nations Face Off tournament.
Us against the world, boys.
To the adrenaline of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm scared of you guys.
With candid interviews and backstage access, experience the sacrifice, the rivalries, and the determination that define NHL greatness.
Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped, here we are.
A new season of Face Off Inside the NHL. Watch now only on Prime Video.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go to town to get a great new Tundra or Tacoma. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. 9 of the games in the National Hockey League tonight. In Ottawa, end of the first period, Edmonton has a 1-0 lead. San Jose visiting the Islanders after 20 minutes of play. Islanders 3-2 with the lead there. End of the first in Pittsburgh. Vancouver and the Penguins tied at 1 after 20 minutes in Washington. Capitals 1-0 over the Seattle Kraken. Panthers midway through the first period 1-0 over the Boston Bruins. Getting set to start in mere minutes. LA in St. Louis against the Blues. Also at 8 o'clock, Ducks visiting the Predators. Also at 8, Columbus and Dallas against the Stars. And at 10, Colorado in Utah against the Mammoth. At our game 1-0 for the Leafs over the visiting team from New Jersey, right here on Leafs Game Night on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey, live from Scotiabank Arena, TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
If it's happening in baseball,
the Blue Jays win the pennant. They're going to the World Series.
It's on MLB Network Radio.
George Springer.
Everybody here, this team's worked so hard since spring training to be where we are, and for us to be here is awesome.
John Schneider, the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays.
I'm so happy for this team, fans, this country, this city.
MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group. And I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change. And we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
the biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Your favorite shows on your smart speaker. Simply tell your smart speaker to listen to TSN 1050 everywhere you want it.
Teams getting set for the start of the second period, and the face-off is brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan. Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca.
It's nice seeing Tom Fitzgerald, the general manager of the New Jersey Devils, and former Leaf, used to sit right in front of me on the charters years ago when he was here.
He and Ed Belfour were a part of a practical joke on Darcy Tucker in a haunted hotel in Los Angeles that almost had Tucker jumping out of the window.
Yeah, we can see all those videos of Darcy going into the Ottawa bench, fighting guys 6 feet taller than him.
Oh, tough as nails.
But you tug on the bed sheet a little bit. And you got him.
Oh, God. He jumped right into Brian McCabe's arms. He was so frightened of the ghosts. Played out at center ice. The Leafs defend the goal to our left. And back after it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He'll get it up the middle, but the pass went off a skate. But now Karam's to center. Back come the Devils to get it in over the line, flipping it around back of the net. Larson chips it around, but it is cut off. Pass that was blocked. Larson tries it again. Same result, kept in on the boards, but Roy is able to play it out at center ice. And now the Leafs have to go back as the Devils are going to take the opportunity to change. Benoit stationed back of the Toronto goal. Myers, Cowan, and Blah, the scratches for Toronto this evening. Calle Yarncrook, who was out of the lineup the other night, back in tonight. Devils across the line. Palat drops it into the slot, and a shot went just wide. A rebound was blocked before it reached the net, and then another point shot deflects wide of the Toronto goal. Puck comes in front of the net. Domi chopped at it, but didn't get it out. And the Devils continue to press. Here in the corner, they have it now. Hughes into the slot area, and a shot scores! It was a matter of time, and Jack Hughes ends up tying the game.
I was just going to say that. Matter of time. The Leafs can't get the puck out of their own. Just kind of feeble attempts to get it to the line, and they end up, everybody collapses in front of Anthony Stolarz, and the guy you don't want to have the puck is Jack Hughes. And he just walks in from the high slot and snaps it through a pretty good maze. Tanev is taking his man, but it's also providing a screen as Andre Palat. He was in the blue paint for a while, but doesn't make contact with Stolarz, although the Leafs might be looking at this to see if Stolarz was not being given the ability to play his position.
Toronto is challenging the previous play for goaltender interference.
Now you see it up top now. The question is going to be, did Tanev push Palat into the blue paint? Did Palat vacate the area long enough to allow Stolarz to see the puck and do his job? And a little bit of a gamble for Craig Berube. I know it's early in the second period.
Well, the Leafs were dynamite at this last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Tanev's the one responsible. Palat turns, but he doesn't allow Stolarz to get out to the top of the crease, right? And he's got to be able to play his position in the blue paint. And his positioning keeps Stolarz, about a foot back?
Foot back, yep.
And it looks like a pretty quick decision, whatever it is.
Here it is.
Following the coach's challenge, the call on the ice is confirmed. It's a goal.
So the Leafs are 0 for 1 in coaches' challenges this year. And the Leafs will be a man short as a result.
Again, that's got to be the ruling is that Tanev pushes him in or holds him in. And
when I looked at it, that's what I thought. I thought that Tanev was much of a deterrent in Stolarz not being able to come out. So John Tavares will sit in the penalty box. The Leafs have given up the tying goal and now are a man short. And the Devils are 4 of 16 on the power play, which is 7th best in the National Hockey League. Here's Hughes getting in across the line on the left wing side. Hischier with a shot that Stolarz is able to cover up on and hold on.
Well, talking to Ken Danico, does the TV color for the New Jersey Devils, former Cup winner with the Devils as well as a defenseman. We talked briefly about the opening period. He said that might have been our best period of the year. The opening 20. And the Devils were down 1-0, but that's why, as you put it, it's a matter of time. And New Jersey continued pushing the Leafs in their own zone here in the second.
Hamilton off a face-off window. Hughes, a shot. That's rebound. There's a scramble in front of the goal. And the big oven mitt of Stolarz gets there, but Chris Tanev is down in a heap. Did he take one of those shots up high? And he is hunched on all fours down to the right of goaltender Stolarz.
Leaf training staff on the ice to tend to Chris Tanev as well.
I don't know whether that puck
I thought
came
he
up.
might have fallen. Yeah, Dawson Mercer, Joe, when he fell, I think fell over the ankle of Chris Tanev. Tanev went in behind him, and Mercer fell and goes right over on the right angle of.
Yes, he did. Yep.
Chris Tanev.
Tanev is up and gingerly skating back to the Toronto bench.
Yeah, just a fluke play. But as the New Jersey player was falling, and Tanev is going right to the dressing room. I don't know if there was any head contact.
I don't know. I mean, we could see the ankle, but we were looking at that.
Yeah, and he appears to be favoring it. Oh, it might have been,
maybe a helmet to the head. There's a shot that Stolarz is able to chop and get back. It comes back to the blue line, just kept in by Hamilton. Near side Hughes. Good block there by Brandon Carlo, and it is quickly shot by Matthews down the ice. Matthews and Nyes are the penalty-killing forwards for Toronto. Minute 5 to go in this power play. Brought in over the line by Jesper Bratt, and a turnover pushes the puck back out into neutral ice, forcing Hughes back to retrieve it. To the line, Hamilton, and that looked like it was offside from my vantage point high above the blue line. Never mind, Leafs are able to get it out and down the ice. I don't have to phone anybody. Have the hotline right here. The red
big
phone.
red, the bat phone?
The bat phone, yeah. Here the Devils in across the line. Gritsik gets it onto the right wing side. Played back to the blue line, just kept into the left wing side. Here's Gritsik with a shot. That was deflected over top of the goal by goaltender Stolarz. Gritsik with it again, works it back to the blue line. Another wrist shot on the far side is deflected in front of the net, and they score. Cody Glass got a rebound in front of the net, and the challenge of the tying goal turns into the power play that produces the go-ahead goal.
Second goal of the season for Cody Glass. But I think one of the reasons for the challenge, Joe, is the Leafs were in trouble. And I mean, it's just been a continuation here in the second period, and I think Craig Berube was trying to hold on to the lead any way he could, and maybe a challenge was going to be more effective than the way they were playing. But here, a shot in front, rattles around, but the rebound comes out onto the stick of Cody Glass, and he pops it in. So traffic in front again.
Leafs sending it around the boards, but it's cut off by the New Jersey defense, and the Leafs are back in the defensive mode in their own zone. Around the boards for Cotter. Kept in along the boards and back into the near corner. The Leafs unable to come away with it cleanly, but now Riley does. And he gets it ahead, and here's Tavares in across the line. Tavares backhanding it down into the corner. Hustling after it was Matthias Michelli, but he couldn't come up with it, but it comes back to the point. The Leafs keep it in. Oliver Ekman-Larsson back of the net. Michelli, far corner, puts the brakes on. Left it for Nylander. Nylander had it knocked off his stick, but Tavares is able to steal. Tavares sending it to the net. That was stopped. Allen had it knocked away. Back of the net now is New Jersey, getting it out into neutral ice and flipping it to the Toronto zone. Cotter gets in on the right wing and is squeezed off the disc there on a good hit by Simon Benoit. Leafs back into the offensive zone, hustling after it is Yarncrook to deny icing. Puck in the near corner. Yarncrook is in there. Leafs getting a change. Nick Robertson joins the fray. Puck comes back to the blue line. Just kept in by Carlo to the far corner for Lorenz, and his pass back to the blue line didn't work. And now here, 3 Devils on 1 defender. Pass into the slot, and a shot scores! Brendan Dillon jumps into the rush, but the Leafs really butchered that in the neutral zone. It was a 4-on-1.
Defenseman pinched. Lorenz tried to make the hit. They go 0 for 2 on that play. And the Devils have earned a 3-1 lead. In fact, could be even worse. Jake McCabe stood up and really took out Steven Lorenz as well. That left Brandon Carlo as the lone defender. Dillon read the play, jumped up. 4-on-1, and this actually, Joe, goes under the right arm of Anthony Stolarz.
And the Leafs and Craig Berube have called timeout, and it's a one-way discussion going on at the Leaf bench. So Hughes, Glass, and Dillon have scored in the first 4 minutes and 54 seconds of the second period to erase a 1-0 Toronto lead.
And we said it after the first period. It could have been 3-1, 4-1 Jersey after the first. So give the Devils credit. They came out and just continued to dominate the Leafs, especially in the Toronto end, and are full marks for this lead.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson deflects the puck down in on goal. Allen will scoop it aside and gets it out into neutral ice where the Leafs are able to turn it over. OEL backpedals behind his goal, then ran out of room. Centering pass in front and almost gave up another great scoring chance. Now brought to center ice by OEL and onto the left wing for Domi. A weak shot is handled easily there by goaltender Allen. The puck in the area back of the goal. Matthews couldn't get to it, and out come the Devils to center ice. Dougie Hamilton sending it in over the line. A drop pass in front. Oh, and that was tipped just wide of the Leaf goal. Heading to the net was Nico Hischier.
I tell you, this has the feeling of a game that Anthony Stolarz could be lifted for the mercy rule.
Yes, absolutely. 14-13. The Leafs have had 3 shots on goal in this period, but it would take a real expert to remember any of them.
Maybe the last one, the one shot in from the blue line. No, they weren't scoring chances.
No, they sure weren't. Round on the boards, McMahon able to free it up. Quickly ahead on the left wing for Benoit. Got across the line but couldn't do much with it, and then a pass to the side of the goal, and Benoit couldn't deliver a backhand. Has it on the far half boards, back to the point. Benoit tips it down into the corner. Lorenz helping out along the boards, getting it on the wing, but it was knocked away there from Bobby McMahon. And out at center ice, it's played down into the Toronto end. Round on the far side, Benoit. Up ahead, chipped there by Joshua. Brought in by Roy, taken in along the near boards. Roy frees it up for McMahon. McMahon back of the net, trying to play it off and does. Michelli back behind the goal to the far side for Tavares. Tavares working the half boards on the far wing, gets it back to the point. Long shot was deflected. That might have been a high stick, was it? Another shot goes wide of the Devils' goal. As it comes to the line, it's going to come out at center ice. Riley playing it back to his defense partner. Got it ahead. Tavares in on the wing for Nylander, coming off the bench. He's in on goal. He scored! Michelli had a 4x6 as Jake Allen severely overplays Nylander.
Well, if you're Jake Allen, you got to respect the shot of Willie Nylander coming down the left wing side. This time it's the Devils that get caught standing up at the blue line, allowing a 2-on-1 in. And Willie Nylander, he's showing shot all the way. At the last second, draws it in and slips the backhand over to Michelli, who has his second point, but first goal as a member of the Leafs. And they needed that.
Oh, did they ever. 7:03, the time of the Michelli goal. As Jimmy said, his first in a Leaf uniform. And Willie Nylander continues to pile up the points for the Maple Leafs. 2 assists tonight. He's got 13 already. Play it around down into the Toronto zone. Chipped into the corner. Leafs fighting for possession. Dug out there by Glass. Back to the point. A long shot. Covered up by Stolars and held.
Willie Nylander, Joe, is one of those players who you can sit back and you say, well, you need more from him. You need him to dominate. And you brought up his point totals. Remember, you'd watch Gretzky playing a game and say he wasn't that noticeable, but he had a goal and 3 assists. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And you just have to kind of go along with the flow, Mr. Ralph. Go along with the flow. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation, Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, Export, Ultra, Excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
At Boston Pizza, we think fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. So we created BP's 20-minute lunch special for just $15. Come into your nearest Boston Pizza any weekday for one of our $15 lunch specials with your choice of an entree, a side, and a drink. And we'll serve it to you in 20 minutes or less. Or the next one is on BP. Get a real lunch, real fast, for real value. Only at your local Boston Pizza. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
Hey Toronto, winter is back, and so is the Toronto Ski and Snowboard Show. This Friday through Sunday at the Better Living Center. Shop all your ski and snowboard needs, book your winter getaway, bring the kids to the family fun zone, and boogie on down at our retro après party with DJ spinning and so much more. The Toronto Ski and Snowboard Show, this Friday through Sunday at the Better Living Center. Get your tickets now at torontoskishow.ca.
New Jersey 3, the Leafs 2. 12:31 left in the second period. The Leafs go to Buffalo for the first time Friday night. 7:30 start. Home and home with the Sabres. And there's a rumor, not confirmed, that the Saturday game may be moved up to 6 o'clock so as not to collide too much with world seriousness.
Yeah, which makes sense. Who did that last week?
Yeah. Go to the left in the Toronto zone. Won by the Devils, and a wrist shot is gloved by Stolars.
Although I don't.
We get a shoving match going on in front of the net with Brian Hallinan and who was the Leaf?
Cotter and Nick Ward grabbing onto each other. By the way, having said that, I can't recall a Leaf playoff game forcing a different time for a Blue Jay game. Can you?
Fair's only fair, Mr. Ralph.
I know.
We're not putting up with that much longer.
I'm just
no
trying to remember.
Yeah. Draw to the left in the Toronto zone. And being waved out is Luke Glendening. So Cotter will take the face off and loses it. Oliver Ekman-Larsson with a flip through center that was deflected away from everyone. And now the Leafs try to play it in over the line, just onside. Bobby McMahon into the slot for OEL, but he was knocked off stride by Hallinan, and the Devils get it out at center.
A smart play by Hallinan, wasn't it? Just lower the shoulder.
Now Devils get it right back in again, trying to go wide as Cotter. Welcome back, Mr. Cotter. He got hit there, and the Leafs are able to play it out at center ice.
I wonder how many people won't get that reference.
What reference? I don't know what you were talking about. Played down into the area back of the net. Is that black and white TV?
Yes.
Brought back to the point. Leafs Riley with a wrist shot that drifts over top of the net. Roy unable to get it initially, but the long reach then helped play it free, but unable to keep it in along the boards was Michelli. Devils Hamilton to the line. Long wrist shot steered wide by Stolars. Near boards, Michelli banks it to the blue line. Played back out at center. Michelli has to wait for teammates to get onside. And a weak backhand is cut off before it got in deep. And up on the left wing it comes to Timo Meier. Pass in front of the goal. Oh, what a brilliant bit of defense there by Jake McCabe. He saves a goal on a back check that came right in front of the Leaf net. Leafs get it back for Tavares off on the far side, and Benoit had to wait for his replacement to get onto the bench before he could handle it and couldn't keep it in. Now a wing shot taken by Nyes is swallowed up by Jake Allen.
But one of the reasons McCabe has to make a great play is it's a 3-on-1 for the Devils, and McCabe got back a little late, but was able to just break it up before it was a tap-in into the empty net. Leafs got caught on a horrible line change. Brandon Carlo went to the bench as the Devils were starting to bring it up ice. That left Morgan Riley on his own, and Jake McCabe coming late off the bench just does get a stick on it.
Played down into the Devils' corner on the far side with Domi banking it back to the point. One-timer by Benoit was well wide of the net. Matthews couldn't keep it in. Benoit forced back into his own zone, chased hard by Connor Brown. Benoit gets to the far wing and gets it up, and now a long rink-wide pass for Matthews. Matthews into the slot area with a weak shot that went off a stick and was handled easily by Jake Allen. Nyes trying to keep the puck in at the blue line, but failed. Domi will give it off to Matthews. Matthews surrounded, circles back at center. Leafs are in the midst of a change. Matthews will buy more time, and then an errant pass is gobbled up by the Leafs and played ahead and in over the line for Joshua. Dakota Joshua gets it around on the boards, but no one there. Devils bring it back. They lead 3-2 here in the second period, halfway through this evening's game. Riley off Joshua, ahead for McMahon. Pushed down into the left wing corner. Works around back of the net, but was ridden off the disc. Hughes skating nicely to center. Hughes in over the line, dropping it off on the right wing side. Back to the point, a long shot that went wide. Hughes loses it in the corner, but his partner gets it back to the blue line. Walking the line is Luke Hughes, his brother, but they lose it. And now the Leafs with McMahon in over the line, trying to get to Joshua, but the shot went over top of the goal and wide. Couldn't get it to Joshua, who was desperately trying to get away from a
I think he was out of
Devils
gas.
player. Yeah, he was. Rink wide pass for Lorenz. Ripped around the boards, but cut off by Allen back of the goal. Played ahead for Luke Hughes. The Hughes boys played all of their minor hockey, or a great deal of it, in Toronto for the Toronto Marlboros Association. Now we got two of them in New Jersey and one of them in Vancouver, and they're all pretty talented young men.
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know who the highest paid is among the three? If you had to guess.
I'm going to say probably Jack.
Luke. And that's the reason I would bring it up. That between the three of them,
his contract came up first.
Yeah. What is Luke Hughes and Dougie Hamilton the highest paid in the Devils at $9 million? Jack is $8 million. Quinn is $7.85 million.
Out in Vancouver.
Remind you, if you ask Father Jim, how are your boys doing? you gotta be saying okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. What do you expect for Christmas? Decent gifts.
They're all in their own place now.
Yeah, that's nice. They're all out on their own. Yeah. Long shoot in his jug, gold but held by Allen.
Now, the one thing with when Jack signed his
just like our offspring.
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
They're all doing
By the way,
so well.
When Jack had signed, and you give Tom Fitzgerald a lot of credit here, he played 119 games in the NHL, 20 goals, 55 points. Everyone thought at the time he was overpaid. And look at the numbers he's put up since.
Yep, for sure. It is a 3-2 New Jersey lead, 8:01 to play. Second period, you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 in the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
The NBA season begins tonight with an opening night doubleheader on NBA radio. First, catch the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder as they begin their title defense in earnest against the Rockets. Then it's the Lakers and Warriors. It all begins at 7:30 Eastern on NBA Radio, Channel 86, and on the Sirius XM app.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Face off in the New Jersey zone. The Leafs are loading up here with Matthews, Nylander, and Nyes. And the draw won by the Devils, and they're going to get it to the line and out at center ice. Matthews plays it back into neutral territory, brought back in again now by the Devils, in a shot that was blocked by Matthews, but it broke his stick, and Nylander starts back on the right wing. Willie sending a diagonal shooting into the left wing corner for Nyes. Round back of the net, it comes back to Nyes. Back of the goal for Nylander. Nylander curls, back to the point, he sends it to OEL. Oliver Ekman-Larsson sends it back to the far corner. Matthews with a new cue, gets it back to Riley. Round on the wall to the near side. OEL will pinch but not get there in time. And a race for the puck now won by Riley, who gets back into his own zone ahead of Nico Hischier. Here's Nylander back the other way. He'll drop for Matthews, closing and a shot. That was blocked, a rebound. And Matthews tipped it just wide. To the point, another shot goes off a leg wide. Matthews with the rebound. Back to the point, it goes to Carlo. Carlo will play it back at the net to the far corner. Bobby McMahon running into a traffic jam over there. Lost the puck, but restolen. Now, a shot from a sharp angle went wide, and it's going to carry him all the way down the ice. Can you re-steal something?
Yeah. You've stolen it once.
But he re-stole it.
Yeah.
I think if you steal it once, you can't really. It's like, you know, I don't know. The guy who's doing play-by-play here doesn't know the English language. Shot down into the Devil's zone.
At least your color guy knows crime.
Yeah. Well, you've done time.
Yeah.
All right, back in the net it goes.
It's called the American League.
Leafs back in their own zone.
Stole a lot of money down there.
Yes, you did. Played out at center for Roy. He'll play it in over the line and head to the bench. Leafs are trying to get a change going. Hughes back the other way, sends it high. Where to go? Oh, high into the far corner. See, a play-by-play man should never say, where did it go? You're supposed to know where it is. Gricic back in the Devil zone. Straight up ice to center. Drops it off in the left wing. Hughes getting it back to the point. Glass with a shot. Rebound in front. Oh, Lee Mackinac. What a save made by Stolar's left hand. A wraparound attempt comes around, and Anthony Stolarz stuffs that big mitten out there and denies Hughes for the go-ahead goal, or for the insurance goal. And we're watching on the big screen George Springer's home run last night. The Leafs need a little bit of comeback here, too. It's 3-2 New Jersey. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With most Subaru models, all-wheel drive comes standard. Heated front seats, high ground clearance, Apple CarPlay, standard. EyeSight driver assist to help when you're distracted by fall foliage, standard. Guy announcing the radio ad now wanting a Subaru? Yeah, standard. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models. And get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Hey, seriously, can I get one?
At Conestoga Farms, our eggs are more than just eggs. They're a promise from local farmers to you.
Local is near and dear to my heart.
Local means fresh.
For our golden yolk eggs, we feed our hens a natural diet, including marigolds, a natural source of lutein, so the yolks are rich, golden, and full of nutrients.
There's a great sense of pride in being able to feed our own family a product that we've raised.
Feed your family like we feed ours with Conestoga Farms golden yolk eggs, because local matters.
In Canada, opening a business bank account can take weeks. The fees on your account are endless, and your money earns nothing. Honestly, what the f? We hear you, but your WTF is also why there's Float. Float is a complete finance platform with business accounts that open in minutes, charge 0 fees, and earn up to 4% interest. It's a business account that makes sense and money. So let's take back our WTFs and celebrate why there's Float. Open your account today at floatfinancial.com.
Face off in the Toronto zone to the left of Anthony Stolarz, who just stole a 4th goal from the New Jersey Devils. And being waved out is Cody Glass. So Connor Brown moves in. Won by Brown. Devils get it into the slot area. Glass on the left wing side. Hughes, a shot off the shoulder of Stolarz. Puck comes in front of the net, and a shot went off a leg wide. Devils pressing again. Hughes to the far side, and a wrist shot is blockered away. Blockered enough to get it out at center ice. Thank you, Anthony Stolarz. Hughes going back in his own zone. Got it out and down the ice, but it'll be right on goal. Stolarz playing it off for Brandon Carlo, who gives it ahead, and now the Leafs push it ahead to the line. Just trying to tip it past the defenseman there was Robertson, but failing. Hischier crossed the line. Taken down there by Carlo. The puck goes back of the net. Swept along by Gricic in back of the net. And the Maple Leafs, Matthews, playing it ahead, and Nyes drops it off. Jake McCabe slowly through center, back to Nyes, who's going to pepper it down into New Jersey territory. 4.5 minutes to go, and pass in front, and here's Nyes trying to backhand. He was tackled and no call. Devils back the other way. Hischier into the slot area, and a shot is blocked by a sprawling Max Domi. Domi trying to lift it high to center to Matthews. Matthews and Nyes, but they can't connect on a pass.
Well, that was Simon Benoit got caught. Max Domi did a good job to get back and break up another odd man rush for the Devils.
Benoit leaving the puck for Matthews, but the puck turned over, and the Leafs are able to get it out. 3 Leafs to center. Domi in over the line for Matthews, dropping it back. OEL couldn't come up with it, and now a lead pass on the left wing side for Jack Hughes. Scores! The Leafs get caught in a bad line change, and Jack Hughes has his second of the game, and the 2-goal lead restored.
Second in a row that goes through Stolarz. This might have been under the right arm as well, Joe. But, I mean, this is a slap shot with speed coming off the left wing. Matthews' line had been out for a long shift. And instead of getting the puck deep, it's turned over just inside the New Jersey line. The defense again tried to sneak in a line change and got caught. And that left Hughes wide open on the far side, left wing side, to walk in and hammer it through Stolarz.
So the Devils restore the 2-goal advantage. It's 4-2, and Hughes has his 5th of the year. Benoit getting across the line and in. Unable to trap it was Dakota Joshua. He'll get it back to the point, though. OEL to the left wing side, and Riley's shot was blocked in front of the net. He's going to get a return opportunity. Dishes off. Roy sending it into the corner. Bouncing puck comes in front. Roy, a pass in front of the goal. They bang away at it. Still free. And then it was tipped to the far boards and into the corner. Cotter getting it high to center ice. And that will force Oliver Ekman-Larsson back into his own zone. 2:50 to play in this second period. The Devils have scored all 4 of their goals in this second period. Brought into the zone by Tavares. Playing around the boards on the near wing. Bratt and Nemec getting the assists on the goal. Played off the boards on the near side. Nylander punching it around back of the net. Gobbled up by Hischier. And the Devils will play it around on the boards, but Brandon Carlo got a skate on it, but couldn't keep it in the zone. 2:10 to play in the period. Jake McCabe misfires on a dump in. Quickly back the other way is Hughes. Hughes down into the corner. Had it taken away. Robertson for the Leafs in his own zone. Starts up the left wing. He'll flip it in over the line. Volleyball back. Robertson is able to get it himself. Robertson in the corner. Back to the blue line. D to OEL. Oliver Ekman-Larsson's shot was deflected right on. Good pad save made by Allen, who really has not been tested that much. 15 shots for the Maple Leafs, 24 for New Jersey, and there have been a lot more difficult chances directed at Stolarz than has been directed at Allen.
And I know the last 2 have gone through Stolarz, but this was just law of averages, right? You keep giving up odd man rushes. You keep turning the puck over. And it's eventually going to burn you. And the Leafs were so fortunate to be up 1 after the first period. But instead of coming out energized for the start of the second, New Jersey continued to carry the play.
That's a pretty good shot that Hughes had there. At the point, a drive that was blocked in front of the net. Trying to backhand it was Matthews. It comes in front of the goal. Another shot is stopped. The rebound. Allen down. What a nifty little play Matthews made between the legs to try to lift it over Allen.
And he almost, when the rebound came out below the goal line to Allen's left, Matthews threw it out front and almost banked it in off the defenseman and in.
.112 to go in the period.
And Joe, this is where you need your top line to take control of this game and produce. Yeah, there have been points there, but they have not had many dominant shifts. I mean, really through the season to this point, and certainly in this game, they have not looked like one of the top 3 or 4 lines on the ice.
Played into the center ice area for Nylander. He strides to the line, cleared in over the line, but it doesn't reach him. Cotter gets it back the other way and down into the Toronto zone, but it'll be an icing call. 48.4 seconds to go in the period. Matthews' line has been on for one of the goals anyway. Now he's
the last
got
one
caught in there too, but Matthews had left the ice. So Andre Roy kind of gets a bad minus because it wasn't him that was caused the turnover or anything. Played around into the corner, deflected out in front of the net by McMahon. Tavares couldn't reach it, and it's into the center ice area and punched down into the Toronto zone. Half minute to play in the period. Back to the blue line and fed into the near corner by New Jersey. Leafs get it out into neutral ice. McMahon for Tavares. Played in, and now Tavares goes in there after it, but it's going to be played out and down the ice by the Devils. And an icing call will come with 13.2 seconds remaining in the period.
Now, this is not an excuse by any means, but most coaches will say they do not love having a schedule that has a lot of home games at the start of the year. Puts a lot of pressure on you to start while you're trying to figure things out, and the Leafs have not been great on home ice.
Came in with a record of 3-1-1.
But again, so many of those games, those 3 wins could have gone either way, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You had the overtime win against the Rangers, even against Seattle. Well, they lost against Seattle, but Nashville was a game. There was some empty net goals in there that might have flattered the score. So they've got some work to do here with 40 minutes to go, trailing by 2.
25-17. The shots favoring New Jersey after 40 minutes of play. The Devils outscore the Leafs 4-1 in the second period and have a 4-2 advantage after 40 minutes. Anthony Stewart to join Jim Taddy. Leafs trail 4-2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
If it's happening in baseball,
the Dodgers are going back to the World Series.
It's on MLB Network Radio.
Dave Roberts getting ready to celebrate.
We enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. So still a lot of work to be done. Let's just do something special.
We're down here with Mookie Betts.
We'll get to celebrate tonight, and it's just this is the reason why we play the game.
MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott R. Neal. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games. Certainly with this year and what's kind of going on, it is something that we seriously have to look at. And if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brind'Amour. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mountain. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch of highway we haven't been able to cover. So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game, and when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have a take and don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home, and it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside match
Magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
And trail 4-2 after 40 minutes of play. TSN After 40 brought to you by 241 Pizza. Order 241's one large pizza, 2 toppings for $12.99 deal today. Call 241-0241 or order online at 241pizza.com. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart, the former NHLer, with you live from Scotiabank Arena. The Devils hit for 4 goals in that period, and I'm sure Ralphie and Bonesy would have the answer to this. 4 goals in a period against the Leafs on home ice. Boy, that's a rarity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's happened. It hasn't happened very often. I don't think any time during my time with you working on this program. But 3 goals against in 4:54, not the start that you wanted. You got away with being up 1-0 after the first 20. And you think they'd come out with just a little bit more jam, right? And for me, when I'm a little bit disappointed is what you don't want to do against the New Jersey Devils is turn it into a track meet. This is the team that is the reigning 100-meter champions. They can really push the zone. They can push the pace. They can stretch out Jones and make some high-end plays off the rush. And Jack Hughes is sort of having a field day, and he did score the 2 goals that period. He could have easily had 2-3 assists. He was almost toying with them. So again, I think they're getting away from the game plan. I'm not sure what the game plan is tonight, but turning it into a run and gun type style against New Jersey, who's notorious for coming on the right side of these things, I don't think is the best game plan for them tonight.
It was the start to the second period, though. I mean, they had a 1-0 lead. You're looking for, I guess, some sort of a build defensively and physically, and it was a no-fly zone. Those 3 goals, I counted at least another 3 that New Jersey, I don't know how they didn't score. I mean, Stolarz was obviously part of the reason, but there were some opportunities there where you go, wow, that guy's wide open. How does it not go in?
Yeah, Jack Hughes made a couple backdoor passes. He came around. He could have easily had a hat trick that period as well, too. I believe he came around the net, almost put it in as well. And just going back to that timeout, and we were discussing this off air, I'm trying to think now, okay, we talked about protecting Stolarz and not letting anybody in his crease. I'm wondering now, did the coaching staff say, you know what, if the players aren't going to protect him, maybe we're going to show our support for the goaltender in challenging that.
The review, and so then they got penalized and they scored in the power play.
Yeah, so that could be us overanalyzing a bit, but I think that was sort of the beginning of the unraveling of the group that period. So again, down 4-2, you only have 17 shots through 2. What is the response here? What is the response? And for me in that situation as a 4th liner, it was unacceptable for me not to have my legs, not to have energy, not to have spunk or gumption. There's some guys that they're still fighting for positions, more ice time, maybe playing their way off the island. I expect a better response for this final 20 minutes.
Well, and again, we harp on the 3 goals in 4:54, but also filtered into that is the Tanev injury, which happened somewhere after the 3 goals go in. He hasn't come back. That would be a significant loss. But I think you're talking about response. We started talking about a response to something that happened Saturday, and we really didn't see that. I mean, we're talking about, defending properly, offense from defense, in that you're creating turnovers. The first period was kind of calm and relaxed, and then it receded even worse at the start of the second. So we're not seeing that team identity or DNA, are we?
No, and we mentioned they do have a back-to-back coming up, right? And
Buffalo.
You're looking at some of the defense right now. OEL's at 15 minutes through the first 2 periods. Same thing with Riley and Benoit's at 12:42. So maybe there's a little bit of a fatigue factor, right? And Same thing with Stolar's in net. He's got 5 of the team's 6 starts this year. Are they getting a little bit tired? But again, I'm not looking for excuses. I'm sure the fans aren't as well too. This is sort of where you show what the team is made of, what's your culture, what is your identity, and I think that's the one thing, regardless of the wins and losses, is what is the identity for the group. And Craig Berube can vouch and say it is what it is, but we're seeing a different product right now. So the one positive is, you saw the goals that New Jersey scored. You have the ability to get back into this game. So I want to see 12, 14, 15 shots crash in the net. And another thing, too, they're not drawing enough power plays. Only 1 power play they drew this period. They're probably one of the least drawing penalties teams in the league as well.
So this is a tough question, but I think the situation calls for it. Of the games that we've done, so we're talking, obviously the games we don't do, we still watch. So this is game, 7 on the season for the Leafs. How many times have they outworked the other team?
Montreal, maybe, but no, Montreal had.
Montreal could have won that game.
Okay, it's. I'll plead the fifth on that and say I'll defer. I'll defer and.
Wow, guy. It's not a Senate subcommittee here.
But that makes it worse, especially when your top end guys and your talented guys aren't necessarily just running up the clock, running up the scoreboard or dominating. Right, you saw shades of it with Matthews in that second period. But I'm going by what I'm seeing with other teams, and I'm seeing the Suzuki's, I'm seeing the Caulfields, I'm seeing the Makars. I'm literally seeing it jump out through the screen of these guys saying, you know what, I've been in the league long enough. I know what it takes. I'm going to go above and beyond to take this game over. And I've yet to see that with this group. So is it injuries? Is it fatigue? I'm not sure what it is, but that's a big, big question mark, and it's going to cost you hockey games.
Yeah, it is. It has a familiar ring to it. And because Sheldon Keefe is here tonight, going back to his tenure here, seems that they always got into a spot in late October, early November, where rumors would fly, and then they'd come out of it and go on like a perfect November. So it kind of looks the same that way, doesn't it?
Just when you're about to put the last shovel of dirt over them, they stick their head down and
hey, wait a minute.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, for me, that's. I played on a lot of teams that didn't have success, and there were some of the trends and some of the tendencies that this group has, and that for me, that's what it is. This is supposed to be a group that's taking the next step. That last year was a one-off, and this year is going to be different. And I want to see it. Again, I'm live and direct, and when I'm watching some of these other teams, I can physically see a difference. I can see it, and I've yet to see that with this group so far.
Big challenge ahead. They could turn it around by starting the third period off on the right skate blade. It is 4-2 for the Devils over the Leafs after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Ron is a teacher helping bright minds, but this time he needed help. Alpine Credit sent a cosmic superhero with a debt consolidation loan. She conjured a magic book, Debt Consolidation 101. Lesson 1, consolidate debt into one low monthly payment. Lesson 2, nothing. It's a short book. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Face Off Inside the NHL returns, taking you deeper behind the scenes than ever before. See it all from the star-studded Four Nations Face Off tournament.
Us against the world, boys.
To the adrenaline of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm scared of you guys.
With candid interviews and backstage access, experience the sacrifice, the rivalries, and the determination that define NHL greatness.
Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped, here we are.
A new season of Face Off Inside the NHL. Watch now only on Prime Video.
When my knees were hurting, I was that guy who told everyone about it. I talked to my colleagues. Hi, everyone. My knees hurt. To my dog. My knees hurt. But really, I should have been talking to my doctor about Cingal, the only treatment that combines fast-acting and long-lasting relief from osteoarthritis knee pain in a single injection. To find a clinic, visit cingal.ca. CINGAL.ca. Stop going on about your knee pain. Instead, talk to your doctor about Cingal. Cingal may not be appropriate for everyone. If you have questions about this product, talk to your doctor.
This October, Great Canadian Entertainment turns up the excitement. Play with your Great Canadian Rewards card all month long to earn ballots for weekly chances to win cash, gift cards, merchandise, and more. And on November 1st, one lucky winner will drive away in a luxury car worth $65,000 at both Great Canadian Casino Resort Toronto and Pickering Casino Resort. Your next visit could be unforgettable. Visit greatcanadian.com/playontario to learn more. Must be 19 plus. If you gamble, play smart.
Hockey. It's taken over our basements, our driveways, and our backyards. And at Rona, we wouldn't change a thing. That's why we make sure your home can take any hits hockey throws its way. So hockey can keep taking over your laundry rooms, your living rooms, your garages, your kitchens. Make sure your home is ready for hockey season with Rona. Build it right. Build it Rona.
Bet99 is built in Canada by Canadians for Ontario players. In fact, Bet99 is so Canadian, it's an official partner of the NHL. Bet99 has more than 2,500 casino games, and you can stream football, soccer, and tennis on Bet99 while you bet. Get in the game with secure deposits and withdrawals. Just add a big screen, a comfy couch, and you're all set. Download the Bet99 app. It's Canadian, eh? 19 plus, play responsibly. Available to persons in Ontario only. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or the gambling of someone close to you, please go to connectontario.ca.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra or Tacoma. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Here's what we have in the National Hockey League tonight. Third period, Edmonton 2-0 over the Ottawa Senators. End of the second, Islanders 4-2 over the Sharks. End of the second, Pittsburgh 4-1 over the Canucks. Also, after 40 minutes of play, Washington 3-0 over Seattle. And in the second, Florida 2-0 over Boston. End of the first, the LA Kings and St. Louis are scoreless. End of the first, the Ducks and Predators are tied at 1. And also after 20 minutes of play, Columbus 2-0 over the Dallas Stars. Later on at 10 o'clock, it'll be Colorado and Utah against the Mammoth. In our game, the Devils lead it 4-2 over the Leafs after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Hey, it's Straight Shooter with Stephen A.
This is Stephen A. Smith, and I've got something to say. We're talking politics, power, and the real issues that shape our lives. I want to make sure I position myself to be one of those voices that America wants to hear on these matters. I'll be open to being educated, corrected when I'm wrong, but I anticipate those moments to be few and far between.
Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Wednesday, 6 p.m. East on POTUS Channel 124 and on the Sirius XM app. Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group. And of course, I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change. And we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
Maple Leafs have got some work to do, trailing by a pair. Oh, wait a minute. Last night,
we're down
trailing by a pair.
3-1.
And all we need is a 3-run home run here. And this is getting into around the 7th inning of a game, the third period in a hockey match.
Let's put it this way. The way this game has gone, we might need 9 periods to be able to get back. I mean, this has not been a good night for the Leafs. And in a lot of ways, a 4-2 deficit actually flatters them.
And how ironic it is that the decision to challenge the first goal ends up being the go-ahead marker on the power play, and they've not been able to equalize since.
Yeah, I do believe Chris Tanev is still off the bench. Looking down, it looks like the Leafs are down a man.
So the face-off at center ice. The puck is dropped, and we're underway. Leafs to the right, Devils to the left as it's shot down into the Toronto zone. Played off the boards along the wall, but not out past Dakota Joshua. Played to the other side. And Devils keep it in. Getting it around back of the net for Mercer. Dawson Mercer, the pride of Newfoundland, couldn't keep it in, and the Leafs Riley skates to center. He's going to shoot it in and peel to the bench himself. Leafs get it down into the offensive zone, but cleared by Hischier back of the net. And on the near wing, it is Mercer getting it out and down the ice. This is sliding fairly substantially on the fresh surface. An icing call will come here against the New Jersey Devils.
Talked to Nelson Emerson a little bit from the Los Angeles Kings in attendance tonight, scouting. I did ask him, and I love doing this to guys you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
I said, are you here looking at somebody? Have you got a scoop for me? And he goes, no scoops, no scoops. I said, nobody would believe me if I said it.
He doesn't realize you're the safest person in the world to give any kind of information.
Some would call it fake news.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's very good. I like that. Did you just come up with that? Yeah. Shot down into the lead zone. Stolars plays it around the wall on the near wing for Tavares, who got it ahead. And it's punched out at center ice by Matthias Michelli. Tavares opened the scoring at 6:36 of the first period. Michelli got his first Leaf goal to cut the margin to 3-2. But Jack Hughes' second goal of the game extended the lead. A wraparound attempt comes around back in front of the net, and the Leafs are able to break it out with Nylander. But his pass is nowhere near Michelli, and it is going to be an icing call against Toronto. Ever been to a World Series game?
No, ALCS years ago.
Yeah.
It was Toronto and Oakland.
Bill Waters and I went to Game 7 of the Red Sox-Mets series.
Oh, that was after Game 6.
Which was Bill Buckner, yes. We were in Quebec City watching as Buckner had that episode and realized that we might be able to go. Ended up getting there. It was quite an experience. Puck in the offensive zone for the Devils. Played backhand out at center ice by the Leaf defense. Domi trying to outfight his man. Finally gets it in across the line for Matthews. Matthews centers in front of the net, but out of the reach of Jake McCabe. And back comes the Devils with Hischier dropping it up, and then got a one-timer away as the return pass, but it was deflected wide and cleared to center ice by Toronto. Here's Domi working in on the right wing. Domi with a pass into the slot area, but hit a stick. Cleared back in the net, but out of the reach of Nyes. Behind the goal to the far side for Carlo. Punched right back in for Matthews, who centers, and it was cut off before it reached Nyes. Devils get it out at center ice and shoot it into the Leaf end. Finish that World Series story as it comes to the sign of the goal, and Stolars will cover up on it.
So the Leafs in New York?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and they changed the game to an afternoon game, and then it rained, and the World Series game was canceled that night anyway. So we stayed over and went on the Monday. Having said that, what was interesting was I went downstairs to get a hot dog or something late in the game. There were more horses and police officers on horseback than Custer had at Little Bighorn. And they were all there to make sure everything was going to be okie dokie after the game.
Well, they would have been happy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was, Gary Carter and the Mets ended up winning the World Series.
Mookie Wilson.
Bill Buckner became a piece of New England lore. Round back of the net, Glendenning.
And yet had an incredible career.
Oh, God. And
Cubs,
he was
Dodgers.
so important to that team just to get where they were. But an old floppy glove that he refused to not use turned out to be the reason for the play at first base. Kept alive now by the Devils. Get it back to the point to Hamilton. Hamilton shot in traffic off a leg, grabbed off there by Paul Cotter. Devils continue to press here in the offensive zone, but have it knocked away. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it up on the wing. Leafs don't get it out. Lorenz couldn't get it out. A long shot went high over top of the goal. Devils keeping it in at the left point. Send it purposely wide of the goal and back of the net now for Hallinan. He gets it up on the wing and back to the point. Hamilton keeps it in there. Hamilton D to the left wing side, dropping it back for Hughes. Boy, the Devils are just buzzing around here. Hughes has it again. Had it blocked there by Roy, but now Hughes from a sharp angle had it stopped by Stolarz. 28th shot on goal for the Devils, and Hughes has got it again, and then he fanned on it badly. But the Leafs still do not get it out. Played along the boards, and Hamilton's going to keep it in, but now finally, Andre Roy is able to get to center and send it down into Devils territory, but an errant pass sent by goaltender Allen will turn into an icing.
Hey, it looks like the New Jersey Devils are just having a ball. Playing, dominating the Leafs in the Toronto end of the ice. Toronto gets the puck, can't get it out. When they finally do get it out, you got to get guys off the ice because they're tired.
The zone time is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
What it is.
I mean, they've got the Leafs at 17 shots. I'm not sure you've mentioned Jake Allen's name, the Jersey goaltender, more than 7 or 8 times.
Leafs win the draw, and a shot from the point knocked down in front of the net. Matthews spinning, but couldn't come up with the loose puck. And the Devils on the left wing, and Palat launches it to center ice. Down into the Toronto end. Benoit playing it around back of the net with skating room to his liking. Comes up on the left wing, and now it is Jake McCabe. Diagonal shoot into the right wing corner. Grabbed off there by Nyes. Into the slot area for McCabe, trying to drive the net. Looking on the near side for Matthews, and it didn't work, and now it's a one-on-one rush the other way. Nico Hischier getting the puck in. Oh, and a good save made there. And then a bad clearing attempt there by Robertson. Keeps the puck into the zone, but then Robertson is able to get it out. Devils back across the line. Knocked by Matthews back at center. He's heading to the bench now.
Had a lot of long shifts, haven't they? I mean, the entire Leaf team has been caught out numerous times on long shifts.
Mainly because they've been pinned in their own end so dramatically. Here's Michelli backhanding down into the offensive zone. Tavares can't get there. It's spun up on the left wing, and Cody Glass skates it back for New Jersey and pumps it down into the Toronto zone. Puck along the boards in the near corner. Nylander trying to dig it free. Not having much luck at it either. Now punch it around the boards, and down the ice it goes into the offensive zone, but not much more going on there. And now we get an icing against New Jersey. The Buffalo Sabres are next on the docket for the Maple Leafs. They've struggled coming out of the gate. They're 2-4.
And I don't know whether that should make you feel better with the Leafs or scare the hell out of you. Back-to-back games Friday, Saturday.
Draw won by Toronto, and a wrist shot went well wide of the net off the stick of Bobby McMahon. Against the boards, a good hit there by Dakota Joshua, flattened one of the Devils players, but it's up on the wing and out. And shot by Connor Brown down into the zone. A backhand from a sharp angle is handled by Stolarz.
Jersey just looks way faster, don't they?
Yeah, and are moving the puck quicker and making them look even faster as we get a timeout on the ice. 13:23 to go in the third. The Leafs trail 4-2 to the New Jersey Devils, looking for their 5th straight win. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Your home for the biggest stories in the league is SiriusXM NFL Radio.
This is Bruce Murray from the SiriusXM Blitz. The trade deadline is approaching. Will your team make a move to put themselves over the top? And Aaron Rodgers faces the team that drafted him for the first time as the Steelers face the Packers on Sunday Night Football.
Rodgers wants to go to Metcalf, has him in the end zone, touchdown!
Plus, we're taking your calls and breaking down the slate in Week 8.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Chris Tanev got injured in the second period and will not return. We mentioned that earlier as he was not on the bench. Sharp angle try, stopped, grabbed off by Yarncrook, up ahead for Lorenz. Tried to one-hand it into the zone, but it goes off a stick and into the bench area.
You know, one thing that I find to be an amazing stat.
Amazing stats,
yeah.
and you always have
now this is the history of the New Jersey Devil franchise, which includes the Kansas City Scouts, Colorado Rockies. Never have they had a 50-goal scorer. Never have they had a player hit 100 points.
And they had Alex McGillney for a number of years, right? He's going into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Jack Hughes a couple of years ago had 99 points.
That's something.
They had
having said that,
Brian Gionta hit 48 goals in 05-06.
Having said that, they were under the tutelage of one Lou Lamoriello for many years, who was more concerned about giving up 3 or 4 shots on goal a game than he was at getting 4 or 5 shots at the other end of the rink.
And it worked.
Yes, it did. Yes, Stanley Cup champions. We get an icing call here against the Devils.
Remember Harry Neal saying once that if you scored in back-to-back games, you got benched.
Yeah, it was a different time, that's for sure. Face off to the right of Jake Allen, the former Montreal Canadiens. How about Jake Allen? He gets traded mid-season. Looks like he's going to be sort of the savior, and then, oh, wait a minute, we're going to bring over Jacob Markstrom.
Yeah, that was
and you get to be...
we got a penalty coming up here, Joey. A hooking call.
Right off the face-off.
And it's
going to the Leafs. And it's Matthews going to the box.
Minor penalty of hooking.
Only the third penalty of the night. Second power play for the Devils. Watching it was right off the face-off loss. Kind of got the stick caught into the midsection of Brett Pesce, who did the smart play, which is sort of clamp onto that stick, not let it go. But boy, I wouldn't call that. I mean, it was more across the thighs than it was a hook around the waist.
Hamilton off a face-off win, drops it off in the left wing side. Pass back for Hamilton. He couldn't handle it off his skates. Whoa, he's drilled into the boards there by Jake McCabe. And the Leafs break it out at center, but have no way of getting around the defense. And Yarncrook just sends it deep into the zone as Andre Roy was with him. Jesper Bratt hit on the right side for Mercer. Pass intercepted, but the Leafs just get it up ahead for Roy. He's out fought for the puck, and Bratt has it again to the left wing side. Wrist shot off the glove of Stolarz, and the rebound comes in front of the net, but is it a glove pass? Yes, it is. Off of the Devils, and so the face-off will be brought back out into neutral ice. With a minute 20 to go in the power play, 11:56 to play in the third period. The Leafs are in need of getting a George Springer home run to get back into this one down a pair.
Gotta get a couple of guys on base first.
Sure, bring that up.
Hey, baseball's got more stats than hockey, don't they?
Yes, they do. Long shoot in, goes down into the Devil zone. Hamilton. And now Hughes. Misfires. Hughes has to go back in his own zone to retrieve the disc, and now starts right back up again. He has a pair of goals on the night. Drops it back, and it is played in on the right side for Dawson Mercer. Mercer sends the puck around the boards to the far side where it's trapped by Hischier. Around back of the net, looking in front for Hamilton, who creeps back to the point. On the left wing side is Hughes. Hughes across ice and a shot. Good save made by Stolarz. And he will cover up on it with 37 seconds left. But as much as this power play has been fairly effective, the time ticking away is as much a factor as anything.
Well, you feel Jersey gets the next one, this game is all but over. As the Leafs barely hanging on to really any kind of respectability at this point, right? Jesper Bratt having a great opportunity. Dot to the left of Anthony Stolarz.
Leafs win the draw, and Yarncrook sends a long looping shot down the ice. 28 seconds left to play in the penalty. Brought out quickly by Hallinan in on the left wing. It goes for Luke Hughes. He loses it. Jake McCabe double teamed in the corner, chopped at by the Maple Leafs. They get it out at center. One player exchange brought on by Andre Palat. Palat carried into the corner. Dumps it back along for Meyer. Timo Meyer at the near half boards. Closes down low, gives it back to Palat. Penalty is over. Matthews is back on. Now Palat taken to the boards by Matthews, but plays it back to the blue line. Hughes gets it over on the near side. Pesce trying to get a shot away. He did, and it was off a body, but the Devils control again. And they've just been able to come away with loose pucks time and time again. Glendenning's shot goes wide. They'll keep it in again. Play it around back of the net. Too far for Glendening. Onto the stick of Nylander. Nylander is squeezed off the puck on the far boards, but Matthews carries on. Matthews in, and then tried to make a move to get around a player, but it was knocked away and sent down the ice by New Jersey. We're halfway through this third period, 9:55 to play, 4-2 in favor of the Devils.
Leafs looking for a spark or anything to get this crowd back into it and energize them. I mean, they haven't had a real dominant game 4 yet, but this has got to be the weakest appearance we've seen of them as a team.
18 shots for Toronto, 33 for the New Jersey Devils. And the zone time has been reflective of that.
Well, they're only shoveling one end between periods.
Tavares gets it back to the point. Long shot in traffic by Riley. Didn't make it through. Hughes playing it off the boards, but cut off by the Maple Leafs. Played back of the net. Tavares looking to try and work in front, but on his backhand couldn't do it. Now gets it to Bobby McMahon. His pass to the other side for Oliver Ekman-Larsson comes back to Riley. Back to Tavares. Tavares with a drive. That was deflected up into the screen by a sprawling Brett Pesce. And a face-off will come in the New Jersey zone when we return. The Devils 4, the Leafs 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With a Subaru, a vehicle that's built to last comes standard. Heated front seats? Standard. High ground clearance? Standard. EyeSight Driver Assist to help spot the scooter delivery guy texting, merging, and eating all at once? Ugh, standard. Parallel parking perfectly while someone watches? Uncommon. But in a Subaru? Standard-ish. Subaru, uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models and get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
At Conestoga Farms, our eggs are more than just eggs. They're a promise from local farmers to you.
Local is near and dear to my heart.
Local means fresh.
For our golden yolk eggs, we feed our hens a natural diet, including marigolds, a natural source of lutein, so the yolks are rich, golden, and full of nutrients.
There's a great sense of pride in being able to feed our own family a product that we've raised.
Feed your family like we feed ours with Conestoga Farms golden yolk eggs, because local matters.
Face Off Inside the NHL returns, taking you deeper behind the scenes than ever before. See it all from the star-studded Four Nations Face Off tournament.
Us against the world, boys.
To the adrenaline of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
How scared are you guys?
With candid interviews and backstage access, experience the sacrifice, the rivalries, and the determination that define NHL greatness.
Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped, here we are.
A new season of Face Off Inside the NHL. Watch now only on Prime Video.
Face-off coming in the New Jersey zone. 9 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the third period. Goal scorers have been Jack Hughes with a pair, Glass, Dillon. The others for New Jersey, Tavares and Michelli, have scored for the Leafs. Tavares with a 2-point night. Willie Nylander has 2 points as well. Devils get it down into the Leaf end. Myers sending it around the boards. Grabbed off by Nylander and with skating room, he carries to center. He tried to snap it in, but fanned on it, and the turnover allows Brown to get it through the goal crease to the far side as it comes back to the point. Dougie Hamilton with a pass in, looking for the redirect there from Brown, and into it off his stick wide. Matthews attempting to steal the puck from a scrum does to get it back to Morgan Riley. Riley gets it ahead, and it's out at center ice. There's two ways of looking fast. One is obvious skating speed, and that's one thing that you can have. But most teams are very similar in that regard. It's puck movement.
Right.
And puck retrieval.
Always hit the guy that's moving.
And right now, the Leafs have just not looked very quick at all. Pass ahead for Benoit. Slid into the zone.
Sorry,
slowed
everyone.
up by Allen. Played around the boards to the left wing side. Benoit creeps to keep it in. Coming out of the corner with a shot was Roy. And the glove save made by Jake Allen. May have been his best save.
Yeah.
Really? You know what I mean?
I'm with you. Nick Waugh from the bottom of the left wing circle takes a step out, tries to go far side, and Allen cuts him off.
7:56 to play in the third. Waugh will take the face-off against Lucas Glendening. And a shot by Domi, whistled over top of the net on a good face-off win. Against the boards is Dakota Joshua. Got it back to the point, but McCabe couldn't keep it in. It comes all the way down into the lead zone. And goaltender Stolarz has to get out.
I see you singing in there, bud.
Well, that would have been offside.
All right. Back to the,
Trapped
audio.
inside the zone, Connor Brown, but one of the Devils tried to shoot it at the net with Stolarz trying to get back into the cage.
I think that was Jake McCabe that made the save.
McCabe, pass behind its intended receiver, clogs things down. There's a perfect example of where you could have some speed in the neutral zone, and yet it's not there because the initial pass slows everything up. Here's Dakota Joshua slowing things down as he comes to the red line. He'll shoot it in around the boards with no pressure over there, and it's all the way back into the Leaf end.
There's a case where on the dump in, you had both your wingers 5 feet from you, so you throw it around the boards to the other side, nobody's there.
Here are the Devils back the other way with Cody Glass. Poked off the stick to center. A quick pass ahead for Robertson is dropped. Brought in and shot into the zone by Calle Yarncrook. Down the boards comes Lorenz. Centering pass, and it was fanned on by Robertson, but he was in position A. That could have got things going in the right direction. Bobby McMahon through center. Taken down, and no penalty. That was
a trip, wasn't it?
It wasn't. It was a real good hook. Played back down into the Toronto zone.
It's a stick between the legs.
Around the boards to the left wing side, but not out. Kept in by the Devils. Looking back to the point. Dillon a shot, and that went wide of the net. Michelli can't come out with it, but Palat does with a shot off the side. Kept alive by Dawson Mercer. Round back of the net for Hughes. Hughes looking for the hat-trick goal. Couldn't come up with it, and Tavares gets it out at center. Michelli will backhand in. Tavares into the forecheck. Unable to get to it, but Bobby McMahon does. Back of the net for Tavares. Reverses his field twice. Got it back to the point. Shot coming in traffic. Blocked. The rebound comes in front. And it's going to be grabbed by Jesper Bratt. Played out at center and down into the Leaf end. 5:20 left to play here in period number 3. There the Devils getting around the boards. Good hit there by Benoit, but the puck still in the Toronto end. Batted into the corner. Swept around to the far side for Hughes. Hughes sends it right back from whence it came. It'll come around on the near side to Brett Pesce. Pesce with a shot that deflects wide to the far side. Nylander was slow to retrieve it, and then the Leafs get it freed up in the corner, and Willie has it again. Nylander ahead for Nyes with Matthews. Nyes shoots it in. Nylander on the far side, couldn't trap it, and it comes to center ice. Devils will counterattack. Right wing side, Glendening a shot that went wide. Pushed around the boards by Mercer. Domi gets an outlet pass, looks ahead, tries to get it ahead. Pretty good piece of interference there on Dakota Joshua.
And there's going to be a penalty, and it's interference.
Pretty good up here, you know, at that.
Nailed it.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
How important is this with 4:16 to go in regulation?
It's vital, Mr. Ralph. It's vital.
Penalty interference.
An interference call. And the Leafs will go to the power play. And we'll be back with it. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The new film, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, tells the story of his 1982 album, Nebraska.
It was a representation of who I wanted to be.
Bruce Springsteen joins actor Jeremy Allen White in a SiriusXM town hall with questions from superfans.
If you can make this honest, people would connect with it.
On E Street Radio, SiriusXM Channel 20, and on the SiriusXM app. Search E Street Radio Specials.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on SiriusXM FC 157.
Everywhere you want it.
Our thanks to Alex Mandarino producing tonight, Jag Kang and Frisco Petrella handling the buttons, and Josh Lopez here with us in the booth. And the Leafs are on the power play, which is brought to you by Subaru. This fall, Uncommon comes standard with Subaru. I dare say if they're going to pull this one out of the fire, 4:16 left. They better score here. Riley off the face-off win. A shot by Nylander deflected wide of the goal. Tavares gets it back. D to D, it goes to Nylander. Back it comes to Riley. In along on the left wing side. Tavares the shot. That was stopped. Nyes got the rebound to Nylander. Nylander back to Riley. Riley closes, doesn't shoot it, gives it back. Nylander returns the favor. Wrist shot from Riley. Trickled off a body and is smothered by Jake Allen with 3:52 to go. Wonder if the Leafs will pull goaltender Anthony Stolarz for a two-man advantage here.
Well, we've already said where the Devils have actually scored more shorthanded than they've given up. Only one power play goal against, and they've got two shorthanded goals in the books already. And that'll be an easy shorthanded goal into an empty netter, wouldn't it?
Face off to the right in the Devils zone. Matthews tried to kick it back, but it didn't work. Grabbed off by Pesce, played around the boards, and down the ice it'll go. Riley will go back. And he starts up ice from behind his own goal. Looks to drop and does. Nylander carries through neutral ice. Stutter step there as he hit the blue line, left wing side for Nyes. Down into the corner. A pass intercepted. And it's going to be brought back up ice by the Devils' Dawson Mercer. And the pride of Newfoundland will just send it down into the Toronto zone. Riley will try it again. Looks to drop again. Matthews takes the drop pass. Nifty move in over the line into the slot. Didn't shoot it. Works it back to the blue line to Riley. Riley holds. Works to the near side to Nylander. Now to Matthews. A whistling shot that went off the shoulder of Allen. Kept in momentarily, but cleared by the Devils down the ice. And the penalty is 36 seconds left in it.
Second unit comes out. Nothing really clean cut for the number one power play unit.
Robertson coming down the left wing. Diagonal shooting around into the corner. Allen got there, but stolen. Oh, and a chance there coming out in front of the net. The Leafs couldn't find an empty net as the chance by Robertson was somehow botched. Back of the net, centering pass, goaltender without a stick though. Robertson and Michelli battle for it, stolen back by Hamilton, shot down the ice. Nobody goes to help goaltender Allen get his stick. And the Leafs shoot the puck in. That's bad communication. Devils are going to send it out. And Allen is skating all the way over to get his stick. There's an empty net, but Riley didn't try it.
Crowd was yelling to shoot.
All right. Leafs have their goaltender out. Minute 49 left in the third, down a pair. Nylander fans on a shot. Roy sends it down into the corner. Roy getting it again. Fanned on a pass. Puck is stolen back by the Devils. They'll get it to the side of the goal. It comes in front. Oh, almost knocked in. Allen tried to get his catching glove on top of it, and it was poked back. And his left or right skate, rather, just did keep that from rolling into the net.
It's actually the New Jersey player that knocked it out from behind the goal line off the side of the net to right out in front of Jake Allen. So the Leafs unable to take advantage of a huge break. Just 1:32 to go. Net empty. Down by 2.
Draw to the left of Allen. Scrummed. Devils play it off the boards and out at center. And Nylander will get back to the puck in front of that empty net. He starts through center with a pass. Dropped off by Bobby McMahon to Matthews, who gets in over the line. Couldn't get around the defender, Hamilton. Puck in the far corner. Matthews took it away from him. Tavares over there as well. Matthews trying to dig it free. The scrum continues, and now a minute left to go in the third.
Last minute of play in the third period.
Back to Nylander, closing with a pass to Riley. Oh, a nice blocker save made by Allen. Maybe his best save of the game.
It is now.
Centering pass comes in front. Allen gloving it. It came free again at his feet, but he was able to cover up on it.
Now the late push appears too late. And yeah, Morgan Riley had that top corner. Allen had to go from his left to his right. And on the way over, had to throw that blocker up to take away the top part of the net.
Face off to the right in the New Jersey end. .4 left. Leafs win the draw. Just to keep it in. Riley with a pass in front of the net that didn't work. Nyes tried to chip it in front. That was blocked. Riley knocked down in the near corner. Devils get it free. They're going to get it out for Hughes with an empty net. Scores. Hat-trick goal for Jack Hughes. And the return to Toronto, where he played his minor hockey, comes with a big night.
We talked about Austin Matthews, 2 career hat tricks. Igor Sharangovich was the last Devil to have a 3-goal night against the Leafs. And this, the score really does reflect the game, doesn't it?
Oh, sure it does. 35-14, the shots favoring New Jersey.
The Leafs led 1-0 after the first period, but it was an exaggeration by the scoreboard. And New Jersey came out and just took control of the game. 4 goals in the second.
Lorenz trying to get the puck in front of the net. Couldn't. It comes back to Benoit. His pass is being redirected into the New Jersey bench with 16 seconds. Now Benoit is in a fight here with Brian Hallinan. Hallinan trying to get a left arm to focus on Benoit, and then drilled him with the right. And both players to the ice in front of the Leaf bench.
Boy, Hallinan was holding on and took the first 5 or 6 shots, and then came up with a right and caught Benoit. Knocked the Leaf defenseman of the night. He'll go right to the room. So will his New Jersey counterpart. And with 16.1 seconds to go, we'll get a couple of major fighting majors.
That's first fighting major of the year.
And I guess if you're going to be critical, you're going to say this is what you needed maybe sometime in the second period. Don't go out and take an instigator, but maybe show that kind of anger or emotion against the opposition. And now it just appears like the end of a frustrating evening.
Yeah. Leafs win the face-off, get a wrist shot towards the net that Allen was able to deflect into the corner. Jake Allen is going to pick up his 11th victory against the Maple Leafs, against 8 losses and 1 overtime loss.
And 3-0 in this season. Jacob Markstrom out, and Jake Allen has now defeated both the Edmonton Oilers and Toronto Maple Leafs in consecutive games.
So the Maple Leafs will head on to Buffalo to tangle with the Sabres on Friday night to start a home-and-home affair with the Sabres. 7:30 start. We hope that you will join us then, but a disappointing night for the Maple Leafs as they...
All right. How is everyone doing tonight? Let me minimize that. Let me hit F11. Not on that. Not on that. On this. How's everyone doing tonight? That was a rough watch. Not even gonna lie. Jackets are down. Leafs got blown out. What is it about New Jersey that the Leafs can't seem to get around here? Anyways, before I let everyone go, there's an exit poll on in the stream. It says, "Will I see you in the crew stream Monday night? Yes or no?" Hold on, quick shout out to Rod. Andrew, Carmen, Stefan, Buzzing Queen, Brandy, Stefan again, Angus, Mike, Dempster, Ian, who else am I missing? Lisa, Mr. Roboto, Ruben, Victor. Who else am I missing? I think I got everybody. Gamer Boy. Alright. When I got 197 of you in here, so the rest of the Leafs games this week, I'm doing the game Friday. Wait. No. There's a game Thursday. Is there a game Friday? I need to look at the schedule. Okay, so yes, Friday and Saturday, the doubleheader. I'll be doing that. Until then, guys, everyone, take care. I will see you guys on Friday. Good night. Stay safe.